What's up everybody, Justin with the Away in the Wilderness channel. Down here in my gear room today, which I recently did a video on, giving kind of a tour of everything that's down here. So if you haven't seen that video, go check that video out. I'll leave the link in the description box below. But yeah, I'm down here today putting together a kit for a cold weather camping trip that I'm getting ready to go on. In my area, it's pretty chilly. It's about -1 right now, -1 degrees Fahrenheit right now. Supposed to get a little bit colder than that. And then over the course of the next few days, it's gonna be warming up a little bit, but still gonna be pretty cold in my area for the next couple months. So yeah, I'm down here putting together a kit that's gonna address that. Something that I'm gonna be taking with me that's gonna help insulate me from those cold temperatures. And I learned this the hard way. Early on when I got into this hobby, I started hearing a lot about wool blankets, and I had never, slept with a wool blanket ever in my entire life. But I thought that, I was gonna go out and I'm gonna stay warm with this heavy duty wool blanket that I had, and it didn't happen. I actually took my son and my nephew and a buddy of mine from church on this trip, and we froze our tails off all night long. So if you think you're gonna go out and stay warm with just a wool blanket in these type of temperatures, it's simply not gonna happen unless you're sleeping next to a long fire or something like that, and you're feeding that thing all night long. But I do intend on having a fire for a good portion of the night, but the things that I'm gonna be taking in this pack are going to be able to keep me warm even without that fire. So I'm gonna get the camera set up and we'll kind of go over the contents of this entire pack, and then I'll show you kind of how I fit it together in my pack. So stay with me, we'll be right back. All right guys, so first and foremost, the pack that I'm gonna be taking everything in. This is the Savoda, I believe it's pronounced Yakari, and this is the large version. This is, I believe, expandable to 70 liters, if I'm not mistaken. But you can see a lot of MOLLE on here, so you can strap a lot of things to it. I personally don't like having a lot of things dangling off of the side of my pack. I actually had some pouches, one here on the front and a couple on the sides, but I felt like I wasn't really gonna need those on this trip. So I wanna keep it as streamlined as possible. Probably gonna strap my axe and maybe my sleeping pad to the side. But yeah, I don't really like to have a lot of things dangling off the side of my pack and stuff like that, having pouches all over the place. But anyway, so this is the pack that I'm gonna be taking everything in. Next up is gonna be my sleep system. Working from the ground up, I have a Thermarest Z-Lite sleeping pad, which is going to work in conjunction with my Xped insulating inflatable mat. Then I have a military USGI black sleeping bag from the modular sleep system, which is going to work in conjunction with my Swagman roll, which is going to be an inner sleeping bag. So with this and this, along with this Gore-Tex bivy that's going to be waterproof and everything like that, this should keep me warm. All of this together at probably around -10, probably if you sleep a little cold, maybe 0 degrees or so. But I'm confident that this is going to keep me warm throughout the night. And then here, all I have is just a Cocoon brand inflatable camp pillow, and I cannot overstate, in my opinion, the importance of having an inflatable pillow or a pillow of some sort just to be more comfortable. And then over here, this is the Z-Seat, same exact thing as the Thermarest Z-Lite, just a smaller version. And what this is going to be used for is to just keep my knees and things out of the wet snow, keep my butt out of the wet snow when I'm sitting down or I'm doing chores around camp. Next up inside of this Savoda pouch is going to be the contents of my sleep system. Everything fits nice and compact in here. And guys, I'm a big advocate of keeping your gear organized. It just makes things easier on yourself and you're less prone to lose things. So inside of here, right off the bat, is 6 ABS plastic tent stakes. Right next to that is going to be 1 roll of number 36 bank line, and this is just tarred mariner's line, great cordage. The only other thing in here is my cover element itself, and that is a Diddy Hammocks 3x3 tarp. Phenomenal tarp. Up next, guys, is going to be my cook system. 1 Nalgene bottle just filled with water. That way when I get to camp, I already have some water that I can drink, or along the trail I have something that I can drink. And this is everything contained in just a canvas pouch. And right on top here, just have 1 wooden kuksa. And this is the Zebra billy pot. And then just 1 long Sea to Summit spork. And inside of this, I try to keep all of my food, all of my cooking utensils, things of that nature. So in here right now, right on the top, inside of this little pouch, is just some tea, so that I can have some tea at camp. And I will throw some snacks in here as well, but right now that's all I have in there. Comes also with just a small stainless steel pan. And right now in here, just some rice and some oat for the morning. Also just a cotton bandana. And I will throw some meat in here of some sort to go along with my rice. And like I said, some extra snacks to go in here. But all of it fits nice and compactly inside of the bush pot. Next thing on the list, guys, is my cutting tools. So right here I have the Grants First Brook small forest axe. This is a great axe. Nice and compact. And then the Silky Big Boy, and also a Mora Garberg, and this is the stainless steel version. All of these things are going to help me obviously process firewood and do whatever chores I need to around camp. So those are the cutting tools that I'm taking with me. Next up, guys, inside of another Savoda pouch is going to be my Diddy Bag. These are just some random items, smaller items that are going to help me around camp, do certain tasks, have some light and things like that. So right on top, I just have some Gorilla Tape, just a small roll. This is going to be, if something were to happen to my tarp, I was to get a hole in it, my sleeping mattress, something like that, I would be able to patch it up. And there's obviously a million uses for duct tape or Gorilla Tape. And then right next to that is a Black Diamond. I believe this is the Astro model headlamp. This is going to be my candling device, something that I'm going to be able to see at night, things like that. And this actually takes 3 AAA batteries. I have 6 here. Always take some extra. And I would recommend that you do not store your batteries inside of your headlamp long term, because if there's any kind of moisture, you're going to get corrosion and things like that, and it'll jack your headlamp up. So I have that. Right here is just a bathroom kit, a small poop kit with just a a little shovel, and some wipes. Right in front of that are my work gloves, and these are from a company called Badger Claw, and they make some phenomenal products. I would highly recommend them. These are just some waxed gloves, and they're great. I love them. The last thing that's in here is going to be just my fire kit. This is going to have several, 4 or 5 ways to start a fire, a bunch of different tinders. There's snow out on the ground right now, so I have ways in here that I am going to have a sure fire. Tinders that are going to last for, a long time, burn hot, so that I know for sure that I'm going to be able to get a fire going. So all of that is my Diddy bag. All right, guys, last but not least, the things that I'm going to be carrying in my pockets. And I like to just go ahead and set these aside. I like to really think through everything that I'm going to take, everything that's going to be on my person, and everything that's going to be in my pack. So in my pockets are going to be these items here. Just another cotton bandana, one little hank of 550 paracord, one Bic lighter with some Gorilla Tape wrapped on the bottom. This is the Victorinox one-handed trekker. This is the serrated edge. Honestly, if I could go back and do it over again, I would probably get the one without the serrations, but still a great little pocket knife. There's that. And then this is just a small rat's tourniquet, rapid application tourniquet. And I highly recommend that you have one of these when you're going to be using an axe and things like that, because accidents do happen, no pun intended. So I would highly recommend that you have one of those. And then this is just a magnesium bar with a small ferro rod on the top. And this is just to have another way to start a fire in my pocket, along with my Bic lighter. So those are the contents of my pockets. All right, guys, so this is the finished product. Everything nice and compact, fits inside of the bag, very organized inside of there. And I always recommend that you try on your pack and everything, make sure everything's fitting properly, fitting how you want it, and yeah, make sure everything's organized in there. And as you can see, for the amount of gear that I'm taking with me to stay warm, not very heavy at all. I don't have a scale or anything to measure it, measure the weight, but it's not very heavy at all, not too cumbersome. Everything fits great. So as you can see, pretty easy to get on and off. And that's the finished product. Like I said, just on this side, my Thermarest sleeping pad, and on this side I just have my axe. Everything else is well organized inside of the pack, easy access, and I tend to pack my bag in such a way that right when I get to camp, the things that I'm going to need right off the bat are right on the top. My water bottle and my cover element. So first thing I generally am going to do is I may get a fire going right off the bat in the cold weather, but generally I'm putting up my tarp and making sure I have something over the top of me in case of inclement weather or something like that. But yeah, guys, I really appreciate you joining me. I can't wait to get out and use this pack on this cold weather camping trip. And I greatly appreciate all of the views, all the support, and the comments. And I'm curious to see and interested to see what you guys carry in your cold weather packs. What do you take with you on your cold weather trips to stay nice and warm and to keep yourself safe out there? So leave that in the comment section below if you would. And if you have any questions, I'll do everything I can to answer those. And yeah, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It really helps. And I really appreciate it. God bless, and I'll see you out there on the trail.